your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got mine, why you can serve my mind? Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got mine, why you can serve my mind? Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come through with that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got mine, why you can serve my mind? Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got mine, why you can serve my mind? Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray. Approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these cans tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, why the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got mine, why you can serve my mind? Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got mine, why you can serve my mind? Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Fair use, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. In this episode of the Chop Shop, there, ladies and gentlemen, you see it on the screen in front of you, the Trump effect. What are the tangibles for black men under the age of 50? Because it seems to me, as Reuters reported, that 1 in 4 black men under the age of 50 is either considering or going to vote for Trump in this election season. My question, and question for the Defiant lawyers, or at least one half of the Defiant lawyers anyway, is what are the tangibles? What are you guys getting from Trump? What is the reason that you are voting for Trump in this election season? What is he giving you? Because as myself and the Defiant lawyers will point out, you guys, like the Dr. Umars, the Tariq Nasheeds, and a few other prominent other folks around the YouTube streets, as we hold up the quotation marks on that, said, black men, if you go vote, at least get something for your vote. So the question for me, and the next cat that we're going to bring up on the screen, is what are you guys getting? Is there some secret that we don't know about, that the rest of the black population don't know about, that got you guys all riled up to vote for Trump? When I go on the social media, I see black women, I see black men. It baffles me to see you folks with that MAGA hat on, disparaging Vice President Harris as you do, knowing with all shadow of a doubt that at least, barring whatever else Trump charges going to face, at least we know that he has been convicted of 34 felony counts. For me, that would be enough not to vote for this guy. He's a convicted felon. But a lot of you folks say you don't care. A lot of you folks say that you don't care. Black folks say you don't care that he questioned Vice President Harris's ethnicity. A lot of folks say you don't care that he didn't allow black people to live in his buildings in the 70s. A lot of folks say you don't care that his butler says that, yeah, he's a devout racist. A lot of you folks don't care that his nieces and family members says that he is a devout white supremacist. A lot of you folks don't care. My question to you black people, given all of that, black men especially, and some of you black women, given all of that can be actual and factual that you can actually go look up, what would compel you to vote for Trump? You got to be getting something out of it. You got to be getting something. Let's go ahead and take the fair use banner off there, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get straight into our particular stream that we're going to review here. Of course, the lawyer, he is a lawyer, practicing lawyer, been a lawyer for quite some time, is going to narrate this as for us. And unlike Dennis Sperling, Angry Man, BGS, and a few of these other wannabe, what's the other guy? The lead attorney, these shade tree ass lawyers, or these lawyers that can't practice law anymore because of something that they did. Here's an actual lawyer that's actually practicing right now that'll ask you the same questions that I just asked you. But he's going to go into a little bit more depth and talk about some of these so-called tangibles that you folks are getting. So without further ado, let's take this off the screen and get to it.
20% of black men under 50 years old are going to be voting for Trump. That's what I read. So immediately, a question arose in my mind. And that question is, what tangibles are those black men going to receive from Trump? Has a backroom deal been made? Has Trump communicated something to these men that I haven't heard about? Because the people out here who are giving all this disinformation has said for the last number of years, you don't vote unless you get something, unless you get some tangibles. So my question is, what tangibles are these black men getting? Those 20% of black men under 50, what tangibles are they getting? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Stay with me.
And I'll make sure that I put the link in the description box. So if you would like to, folks, you can go and check out the channel, whether you want to subscribe to it or just check out some of the content there. That'll be totally up to you. But I would suggest that you do go and check it out. And my man will tell you exactly why here in just a minute.
Hello, everybody. I am attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Each and every week, we bring you at least one legal analysis of some trending story regarding politics, policies, personalities, or pop culture to empower you with the information you need to defy this unjust legal system and to nullify systemic racism. If that interests you, please like, share, comment, subscribe, click the bell so you'll get notified when we drop our videos. So before we get into this, please go over to Amazon, grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. Do yourself that favor and your son, if you have an African-American son in public school, please grab this book so that you will be equipped to help him throughout this school year. As the school system, the public school system is notorious for mistreating African American male students. You probably already know that. And I'm thinking you've been pulling your hair out thinking, are there any resources out here? Well, yes, there is a resource. I wrote this book specifically for you.
And see, that's another thing about the manosphere, folks. You'll get over into those manosphere spaces and you'll hear them say that there's no resources for these young black men. Well, the resources that you guys put out, say, okay, take for instance, the Angry Man and the Angry Man Standards. What's that about? 134 pages of garbage. You got another guy over there, Charles Faulkner, that said he's trying to do something for the little black boys. That's been having a GoFundMe for what, at least almost 2 years now? I think he tried to get $3,000. Haven't even gotten to $3,000 yet, but yet you got all these men over there that's talking about what they're going to do when Trump gets back in the office to help the little black boys. It's not like they haven't had the opportunity before Trump to do it. It's not like there's not resources out there. It's all about what resources that you're looking for.
To help you help your son. So go and get a copy of the book. Now, back to the question at hand. And let me pull up what I'm telling you here. So there is a report that says 1 in 4. I said 20%, but it's actually 25%. 1 in 4 U.S. black men under 50 support Trump for president, according to an NAACP poll. Now, this is being reported. CP poll yet. I have requested it. I'm waiting for it, but I'm going to assume that Reuters is not shucking and jiving out here in these YouTube streets, and so they, they are reporting something accurately. So 1 in 4 black men support Donald Trump. Black men under the age 50. My simple question is, what tangibles are those men going to receive?
Hey, where are the white women at?
Because there are these pro-black imposters who have been saying now for years on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere they get a chance, you don't vote unless you get some tangibles. What tangibles are these men getting? That's my question. What tangibles are they getting? What tangibles are they expecting to get from a white supremacist?
Oh, nigga, please. Nigga, please.
What tangibles? So you don't ask for tangibles, or you don't get tangibles when you're voting for the GOP? Is that it? You only expect tangibles when you're voting for the Democrats? Is there a double standard here? Because I'm not hearing anything about any tangibles from this 25% of black men under 50. I want to know, what tangibles are they getting? All right, let's go back to my other screen here. Maybe they would say, well, we're going to get jobs, low unemployment. Not so fast, because you got those jobs, you got that good economy from Obama.
And folks, you talk to some of these Trump supporters, whether they're black or white, and they just cannot seem to grasp that Trump inherited a great economy. He did. He absolutely did. But within the 4 years of him being in office, he destroyed that. And a lot of people will say, well, it was because of the pandemic. But if you do your research, you will find out that the economy was already in trouble before the pandemic came. It was just the mere fact that it exacerbated, I should say, what Trump was doing.
When Trump took office, he inherited a great economy from Barack Obama. Go confirm it for yourself. And the job numbers were high, and they kept just being great numbers, because when Trump came into office, he didn't have anything to fix. Everything was flowing well. In fact, Obama actually told him, we're giving you a great economy. Don't mess it up. What did Trump do? He messed it up. How? Because he mishandled COVID. He lied about COVID.
And yes, indeed, folks.
He didn't.
To me, that was the nail in the coffin's back. How he mishandled COVID, and that led to the shutdown. That led a lot of people. But dare I say this? I'm going to give Trump a little bit of credit for doing something that had unintended consequences. Okay, by his mishandling of COVID. It told a lot of people that you don't, and this is business as well as folks going to work, business owners and the people that are going to these jobs, that you don't necessarily have to be in that particular brick and mortar place to do your job. Especially if you're a person that sits behind a desk or in a cubicle, you can now have the luxury with the right equipment, of course, to be at work at home. So that's an unintended consequence of what Trump did by mishandling the pandemic. And also, I say this, and I hold this with all sincerity when I say, if it had not been for the pandemic, Trump would have gotten away with a whole lot more. The pandemic put a spotlight on Trump and his administration. And because of that, and because of the dealings that he was doing, all the way from trying to hold the Ukrainians' weapons and money hostage to the pandemic, and led him to being impeached twice. And the only thing that saved him, the only reason that Trump is running for office right now, is because of those staunch, sycophant Republican friends of his that kept him from being impeached in the Senate. So again, 34 felonies. He was also found guilty of sexual misconduct, basically, against E. Jean Carroll. He's also been impeached twice. So young black men under the age of 50, I'll ask you so far, what other tangibles? What's going on so far? Can't be the jobs. Because you see, you folks are running around talking about Trump was the best, had the lowest job thing for black folks. That's not true. Go check the Biden-Harris administration.
Take COVID seriously. Remember him saying that maybe we can just shoot someone with some stuff to cure horses, or maybe some ultraviolet light in their veins? Or remember he said COVID was nothing more than the flu? Remember he said, well, it'll be gone by such and such time? See, he mishandled COVID, and COVID turned out to be a serious pandemic that killed over 1 million people. And it messed up the economy because of Trump. So he inherited a great economy. He messed that economy up. Now, he brags about having the lowest unemployment rate for black Americans. Not true. Joe Biden had the lowest unemployment rate in April of 2023.
You can go check it for yourself, folks.
And again, Trump cannot take credit for Obama's economy. He can't do that. So I wouldn't be expecting a whole bunch of jobs if Trump gets reelected.
Okay, so that's tangible.
I wouldn't be expecting that.
Right, so that's
But
tangible.
then you may say, stimulus checks. Not so fast.
Wait till you hear this, folks. A lot of these folks, you go around and you see these on the street interviews, and they'll ask some of these black Trump supporters. And dare I hate to say this, and I know some of y'all black women are going to be upset with me when y'all hear me say this, but it's a lot of you black women that are misinformed also. A lot of y'all think that those stimulus checks came from Trump. No, Trump held up the stimulus checks. The only reason, two reasons I should say. Number one, because it was a good political move for him. And number two, it also let a narcissist be a narcissist by, number one, putting his signature on those checks. Remember how he held them up just to make sure that every check had his signature on it, because he said, I want the people to know it's coming from me, although it wasn't. You can thank Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats for that. And that is fact. Go look it up for yourself.
Stimulus checks came from Democrats. Pelosi. The Democrats are the ones who fought for you to get those checks. The GOP, they don't give out checks. They don't believe in that. If they had their way, there would be no Medicare, no Medicaid, or anything like that. They don't do that. They believe in enriching the top 1%. And hopefully things then will trickle down to everybody else. So they were fighting these checks. Trump did it. He signed it into law because he saw a political opportunity. Now, you got to give the guy that. He's definitely an opportunist, right? He's definitely one who will take advantage, shrewdly so. And when I say shrewd, that's not a compliment. I'm not complimenting him. I'm saying that the guy is a con man. And he would do anything to get elected. But if he didn't have to do anything to get your vote, he wouldn't do anything for you because he doesn't care for you because he is a white supremacist.
Again, folks, even his own family members have said that. If one of my brothers or sisters came up to you and said that DJ Music is such and such and such and such, you would have no choice but to believe them. Because who knows you better than your family? Whether you get along with your family members or not, who knows you better than them? You have a number of Trump's own family members that don't even support him, don't even support his policies. There's a few of them that's vocal about it, but for the most part, your own family says that you're a racist, a white supremacist. Are we not supposed to believe them?
So no, the checks had his name on them, but the checks actually came from the Democrats. And when you talk about reparations, that's a hard no. Donald Trump and the GOP will never, ever approve reparations. Ever. So what are the tangibles?
So far, folks, if you're looking on the screen right there, where he went from top to the bottom, he said that tangibles, first of all, was jobs. We know Trump's not giving us, didn't give you folks no jobs. You know that. Reparations, yes, she at the bottom of the screen right there, highlighted in yellow. That's a hard no for Donald Trump. Hell no. Hell no. Let's go.
I can hear somebody like, say, Omar Johnson saying, you don't vote for somebody unless you're getting something. What are you getting, black man? What are you getting? That's my question. What are you getting? What are the tangibles? I'd like to know. Tell me down in the comments, what tangibles are those black men going to receive from Donald Trump? Well, actually, I do believe that they will receive some tangibles. I do. If they help Trump get elected, I do believe that those black men will receive some tangibles. Here they are. I believe that they will receive the tangible of stop and frisk. Because Donald Trump has said that if he gets back in office, it's going to be law and order, and he's going to re-implement stop and frisk. This is where the police officer just throws you up against the wall without any reasonable suspicion and start frisking you.
And who does stop and frisk violate the most? Young black men. These same young black men, these men under the age of 50. Remember, at one point in time, y'all were teenagers. So that stop and frisk policy that was implemented when you guys was young men and teenagers, they're going to bring that back now. In New York, you already see it right now. You already see the influx of police interaction with black men just for doing nothing, just for walking, just for talking. We had a kid, 17-year-old kid, sitting in his car eating McDonald's, and the police comes up, ends up shooting him, talking about shots fired for eating. We see another case here in a local truck driver driving from Chicago to North Carolina meets his death.
And only you, black man, because he stood up in a Detroit church. You remember he was in that black Detroit church? What did he say? He said crime was mainly in the black community.
And how many times
So he
have
called
said that?
us the criminals.
And how many times has he said that, folks? See, again, you have to break down it. A lot of you folks are not listening to what Donald Trump is saying. He's in the black community telling you black folks that you are the problem and I am the person, the white man that's going to fix it. By sending more police into your neighborhoods, we're going to turn this not into a neighborhood. We're going to turn this into an occupied neighborhood. How you like that?
And he said that he was going to restore law and order through stop and frisk. So that's one tangible you're going to get. Another one is because of stop and frisk, you're going to get tangible, you're going to get a criminal record if you don't have one already.
Huh?
Because if you're targeted like that, if the police targets the black community like that, oh, that's going to run up criminal records, including
You don't
felony.
understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
More tangibles, more criminal records, more stop and frisk. And because you're being targeted with stop and frisk and felonies and so forth, you're going to get imprisoned. Yeah, more black men are going to go to prison. More black men are going to go to death row. You do know that when Trump was in office, he stood by as a bunch of black men were put to death via the death penalty. Something that he could have prevented. So that's another tangible. Probation.
Did you expect him to prevent that, folks? Remember, he took out a full-page ad. And a lot of you folks, again, you were born when he took this full-page ad out. You might not have been, let's see, this was 1985, 89. So how old were you, some of you folks under the age of 50 right now? Because that's who we're talking about. You cast that under the age of 50. Now, you go back at whatever age you are right now, under the age of 50, and you tell me how old you were in 85. And see if that full-page ad that Donald Trump took out for the Central Park Five, they're saying that they should be executed. See if you had to fit that profile, if you just happened to be in the park that night when that woman got assaulted. See if that could not have been you.
Probation is going to be another tangible that you're going to get, black man. Unemployment. Why do I say unemployment? Because one thing that Trump despises, I mean he despises it, is something called DEI. He despises that. Oh, wow, he's the one who started going after affirmative action and DEI. He actually put that into motion. I'm going to play you a video in just a moment, and it's going to show you, you're going to hear from his own mouth, his disdain
For black men.
for programs like DEI, affirmative action, and so forth. So his vitriol for DEI and affirmative action and anything to benefit you, black man, he's going to target those things once again. And that's going to result in more of you being unemployed. You also, here's another tangible, you're going to get more right-wing judges. If you help elect him, you're going to get more right-wing judges. That's just the nature of the beast. The GOP are laser focused on packing the federal bench.
And if you don't understand what he's talking about there, black men under the age of 50, Donald Trump appointed over 200 and some judges in the small amount of time that he was in office. And those judges that Donald Trump appointed is the reason why Donald Trump is able to run for president again. The Supreme Court judges, the judges in Florida, the judges in Georgia, and the judges in Minnesota. Those are the judges that are saving Donald Trump's ass right now. Or else we would not be having this conversation about him. Judge Eileen Cannon especially. Judge Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. Judge Alieto, or however you pronounce his name. What's the other guy's name? What's her name? Amy Coney Barrett. And of course, the guy that was hell on wheels in college. But we're living under the rule of 6 Supreme Court judges right now, folks, especially you women.
Trump already put 3 right-wing, radical, racist, white supremacist judges on the bench the first time because a bunch of you either voted for him or didn't vote. And he packed the federal bench. He's going to do more of that. So that's another tangible that you're going to get. Going to get a lot of homelessness. You know why? Because he hates the Fair Housing Act. He hates it. He was even sued under the Fair Housing Act.
And that's exactly why he hates it, folks. I mentioned it earlier in the show. Back in 1973, Donald Trump was sued by the Fair Housing Commission for not allowing black people to stay in his building. What he would do, he would have his receptionist put a C on the application. The C meant colored. So it automatically meant that goes into the trash can. Enough people saw that was a reason. Enough people brought it to the attention of the folks, the powers that be, that Donald Trump and whoever his business partner was, probably did this time his pops, was found liable. Again, far as back as 1973. Y'all remember these things? Black men, black women that's voting for Trump.
So you know he hates it real bad. And him and Ben Carson almost gutted it.
They damn sure did, folks. They almost gutted the Fair Housing Act. And again, remember when the pandemic was going on and a lot of you folks, it was either out of work and couldn't or underworked. And so there was a rent moratorium out. Who do you think lifted that? Who do you think put a lot of you folks out on the street? Trump.
So they're going to go back in office and finish the job. So that's another tangible. There's going to be a lot of housing discrimination that you're going to have to deal with. That's going to result in homelessness. Underfunded schools. That is a part of Project 2025. So is the homelessness. Oh, I know he says he knows nothing about it. You believe?
Yeah, if you believe that, I got some swampland in Florida to sell you at a real cheap price too. Okay. Anyway, they're talking about this Project 2025. If you check out the Rising Star and the House of Representative Jasmine Crockett, just a couple of days ago, she interviewed some folks. She basically caught them off guard. And in that Project 2025, 900 pages, Trump's name is either referenced or mentioned over 3,000 times. How in the hell do you get away from that? You can't. And another thing about Project 2025 in those public schools, what they want their children to go to private schools. Why? Because that will allow them to avoid the draft that they're going to institute. If you're in public school, once you graduate, before you graduate, when you're 11th grade and you're in the 11th grade, you have to sign up for, as they call it, selective service. But their children don't. It's only affecting those public school children. And I was up on Bomb Cherry's channel, and I tried to point out by folks was when I said the 16%, but I didn't get to finish that particular line before they started saying, "Well, that's not nothing." Okay, well, you're right, it is nothing. But before the 16%, it was only 4 or 5%. So black folks are catching on to the idea of homeschooling their children. They are catching on.
That Trump's is a serial liar. Do you really believe that when a bunch of the folks who worked for him wrote the Project 2025 manual? Go watch all the videos that I did on Project 2025. So that's another tangible that you're going to get. Your kids are going to be in schools that are underfunded because Project 2025 is going to take that money and send it to the states so that white kids can use that money for their education. What else are you going to get? Immunized cops. Trump has said infamously, Trump has said that he will give cops criminal immunity, which means if they shoot you dead, they won't be prosecuted.
Which means we all know about the last shooting of this guy, of you folks running around talking about hot water was justified enough. A lot of you black folks are saying this, men and women are saying that hot water on a stove was justifiable for a police officer that's supposed to come there to de-escalate, to shoot this woman in her face. And then be so callous and cold about it, because you know why? He knew there was nothing. He expected nothing to happen to him. He absolutely expected nothing, because they already set it in motion. They already told us that Sandra Massey was off keel. She wasn't too off keel that she had conversation with the cops a couple of days before she met her demise. She wasn't too off keel when she was having a conversation with someone that's known to him. She wasn't too off keel when she was on the phone with 911 saying, I really don't trust the guy that's here right now. Under Trump, that guy would have immunity.
Under another Trump administration. That's another tangible. Oh, your life is literally going to be on the line, and mine too, and every other black man we know, because these cops are going to be out here feeling themselves big time. How do I know? Because I sue them. I sue cops for violating our rights.
Okay, so now anybody going to argue what the man does for a living? Does he look like he just started doing this last week? No, he looks like he's been around for a while, and I'm not saying that disrespectively, but he's a gentleman that's been on this earth for at least over 50 years. So I would imagine in this tenure of his, he knows exactly what he's talking about. So black men under the age of 50, again, here's some of the tangibles that you're going to get that a lawyer's telling you. He guaranteed you that the stop and frisk is going to go up. He's going to guarantee you there's going to be more shootings. He's going to guarantee you there's going to be more maiming. There's going to be more mayhem coming from the police directed towards you. This is a lawyer that's telling you this is what he does for a living. How many of y'all are going to ignore this?
So that's another tangible you're going to receive, brother. More cop killings. We're already 5 times more likely to be killed by cops than any other group in America. Well, give them immunity, and they're going to start killing more of us. That's another tangible. So yeah, I understand. You're going to get tangibles, but not the kind of tangibles you want. And why is this? Because you are actually trusting. You're putting your confidence in a white supremacist. And we know this. We have documentation proving that he's a white supremacist. And why are you trusting him? Because of one word, disinformation. I got a video coming out really soon to
No, I disagree with you. I don't think it's disinformation. I think it's stupidity. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and stretch it to 2 words: utter stupidity. Because these black men, especially in these YouTube streets that I hang out in, brother, they say they're smart. They say they are educated men. They say they got PhDs. One of them even calls himself the master teacher. So it's not misinformation. It's utter stupidity.
show you how badly disinformation has distracted so many black people from the real issues. That's coming out real soon. So yeah, there'll be some tangibles, but not the kind of tangibles that any of us want. Now, what I want to do is play a video from back in the 80s of Trump saying some things that will absolutely show you his heart. All right, let's go to that video.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great, I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I was starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black, because I really believe they do have an advantage today.
Now, did you hear that?
I know I did. Did y'all hear that? And you know, that one statement right there from Donald Trump, that put black men in motion to say, he want to be one of us. The man said that if he was to die, he would want to come back as a black man. And a lot of y'all took that as a compliment, did not understand that he was dogging the shit out of you just 2 seconds ago. I wish I could go. Let me go see if I can back this up again and replay this, because I want you to understand he's not complimenting you. He's being condescending. He's being very condescending. Let me see if I can back this up just a little bit, okay? That might have been too far there. Let me see. Yeah, that might have been too far. There we go.
I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great. I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I were starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black, because I really believe they do have an actual advantage today.
Now, I've said this before I let the good lawyer speak here. I've said this over and over again. The most scariest thing to white folks is an educated black man or black woman. That's the most scariest thing to them. If that were not the case, why would, let's go all the way back to slavery. Why was they killing folks for being able to read? Why was they killing these slaves if they got caught reading? Why did they not want us to? Why was they trying to keep the schools segregated? Plessy versus Ferguson, Brown versus the Board of Education, and all these different things. Why did they want to ensure that black people would not have an education? Because that's what they fear the most. A black woman or a black man with intelligence. Because you can't bullshit someone with intelligence, folks. You can't convince someone with intelligence to do stupid shit. Blindly, anyway.
Now, did you hear that? Trump said a well-educated black man has more advantages than a well-educated white man. On what planet? In what universe? That is preposterous. The numbers, the statistics, the studies, the research debunk that whole notion. But we can't dismiss what he said. We can't dismiss it. It sounds ridiculous, especially when he says that he would want to come back in another life as a well-educated black man. We are talking about a guy who received hundreds of millions of dollars from his father. And yet he's sitting there with a straight face saying that he would want to come back as a black man, or that well-educated black men have advantages over well-educated white men. He knows he's lying, but he's saying it for a purpose. He's saying that for a reason. He's not just talking out of his
Side of his neck.
He is saying that for a reason. Why is he saying it? Let me show you why he's saying it. First, because he's a white supremacist, but why is this white supremacist setting up this argument like that? When Trump claims a well-educated black man has an advantage over a well-educated white man, he's saying some things that he actually didn't say, but he's implying three things. One, he's saying black men don't need tangibles. He's saying, why am I going to give black men tangibles when they already have a better set of circumstances than white men?
Boom, mic drop. Why would I give you something when I already see you as having the world as your oyster anyway? That's the thinking of Donald Trump. He think that all black men have to do is pull themselves up by the bootstraps and they can make something. They too can have the American dream. Well, we've known since slavery, Jim Crow, and the list goes on, of federal government issues and policies that have prevented black men and women from doing and living and even holding jobs in some areas. Just think about the National Football League. The argument for the longest time, will we ever see a black quarterback in the National Football League? For the longest time, you could go on any commercial airline and not find a black pilot anywhere. I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years and I worked around fighter pilots every day. And in my entire tenure in the Marine Corps, I only saw 2 black fighter pilots. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't up until recent history that myself as a black man was able to even join the Marine Corps. And when we was able to join the Marine Corps, we didn't go to Paris Island. They sent blacks to Moffett Point. We didn't go to Paris Island. They sent us to Moffett Point.
They're already in good shape. Black men are doing fine. The well-educated ones are doing well because they have more advantages than well-educated white men. In other words, that's a grievance. He's expressing a grievance.
Thank you.
He's expressing something he doesn't like. It is not a compliment. He's not complimenting black men. He is complaining. He is saying black men have advantages over white men.
That's exactly what he's saying. He's saying black men have advantages over white men, and by giving them more advantages like affirmative action, like DEI, it's destroying us as white men. That's exactly what he's saying. This is not a compliment, black fellas. This is a grievance. As we all know, when Donald Trump talks, usually, especially when he talks out loud, he's bitching about something. It hasn't changed from the 80s, and he's still doing it in 2024. Think about the Central Park 5. That was a grievance. You think he changed that much?
He's also saying that black men received those advantages from the law, not merit. They didn't earn those advantages because we black men, we just get stuff because of the government in Trump's mind, because of affirmative action, DEI. That's why he went after that when he became president. He went after those things because of what you just heard him say, that well-educated black men have advantages over white men.
Yeah, absolutely right there again, sir. 2 reasons he went after that. The other reason was because he wanted to overturn everything that dare I use this uppity nigga Barack Obama did while he was in office. That was his main focus. That was his main goal. To undo everything that Barack Obama did so he could redo it to take credit for it.
And therefore, the next thing that he's saying is these advantages, these perceived advantages, they're not actual advantages, but these perceived advantages are unfair and they constitute reverse discrimination. And I can show you, brothers, where he has said that he will use the Justice Department to file civil rights lawsuits against corporations that recognize any sort of perceived advantage that black men may have. He will file those lawsuits on behalf of white men. He will not file civil rights lawsuits on our behalf when we are discriminated against, when you are discriminated against. He will file those lawsuits to protect white men. He's saying all of that in that video that you heard. I'm trying to show you that you're dealing with an evil person. I wanted to say something else. I just had a Kamala Harris moment where I wanted to say something else, but I'm going to be nice.
I won't. You're dealing with the evil motherfucker, folks. He does not like black people. He never has, and he never will. Nothing that Donald Trump is doing right now is dedicated to the upliftment or the empowerment of black folks. Go read that 900-page report called Project 2025, and you'll see exactly what he's talking about. All you black folks that they think is DEI hires, especially if you hold civil servants jobs and you're a Democrat, if Trump gets back into office, I don't give a damn if you're a GS1 or a GS22. You're gone.
dealing with an evil white supremacist, and you're trusting an evil white supremacist to do the right thing by you. Why are you trusting him? Because again of one big word, disinformation.
And stupidity.
You have been hit, you have been targeted with unspeakable amounts of disinformation since at least 2016. And many of you, unfortunately, have bought into that disinformation. But I'm going to be one, I'm going to continue to use my platform to destroy that disinformation, as I've been doing for the last 7 months. Trump is a white supremacist. This country is a white supremacist country. It hasn't changed. We're dealing with the same devils. Devils don't change. They just go from one generation to the next. We're fighting the same battles. We're fighting the same devils and demons. I sometimes scratch my head at why black men, and I understand, it says, 1/4 of black men under 50. That means that black men under 50 were born, in 1970, in the 70s.
In the late 70s.
I was born in the early 60s. So I remember a little bit of Jim Crow. Mm-hmm. You guys, a lot of you are young. You just simply don't know. Many of you were children and hadn't even been born. Many of you were children when Obama became. So that's all you know. You think things have always been decent in terms of dealing with white supremacy. Things have never been decent. They're better because of the hard work of our ancestors, but the stuff that you all are doing, you're going to let them take us back. You're going to let them take us back because that's what Make America Great Again means. It's the again part that is troubling. Make America great, if they stop there, that'd be fine. But when they say make America great again, then they're pointing backwards. And when we look back in American history, we only see Jim Crow and slavery and lynchings and murders and beatings and rapes. That's all we see back there. And you're going to cast a vote to allow them to take us back to those days? And you're doing it without receiving any tangibles? Well, yeah, you will get tangibles, as I explained, but not what you're thinking. Not what you're thinking. I just am trying to give you insight, hindsight, and foresight so that you don't make this mistake. That's all I'm doing. I understand your frustrations about feeling left behind and things are not what they should be, but there's nothing that you can mention that would justify allowing these people, voting to allow these people to take us back from where we sacrificed so much to move away from. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the sacrifices of our ancestors. They would be turning over in their graves right now if they knew that the younger generation, 25% of voting black men under 50 are considering voting for the likes in their lifetime. That would be like voting for Lester Maddox or George Wallace. Bull Connors. I know these are people you never heard of. Voting for Jesse Helms. Voting for Strom Thurmond. I get it. You never heard of these people. And these pro-black imposters are telling you to basically hate the Democrats, but you're okay if you vote for the Republicans, although you're not getting any tangibles that you really want. All right. I hope somebody heard what I just said. Please, you all share this video. Share this video. Get this video out. And hopefully some of these young men will listen and change their minds. I've received messages from some of these younger brothers that have said, you changed my mind. I am not going to do it now. I've received multiple messages like that.
And I sure hope that enough of you brothers see, if you don't heed this man's warning, you heed my warning, or you heed other folks like that. Right about now, if you're a black man, as they said, there's 1 in 4 of you young black men out there under the age of 50 that's either thinking about voting for Trump or going to vote for Trump. Take a look at this video. Go do some of your own history on the person that you're about to vote for. Like he mentioned, folks like Strom Thurmond and Bull Connor. Well, if you were born in the early 60s, middle 60s, early 70s, middle 70s, you know all about those guys. You know about who George Wallace was. You know about who Lester Maddox was. You know who Strom Thurmond was and the chokehold he had on South Carolina politics. This man, well, I don't know how long he was in office, but I know I went all through grade school and high school and damn near to the Marine Corps. I think Strom Thurmond might have died in office. And the policies that Strom Thurmond laid down, we're still feeling the effects of some of them in South Carolina right now. George Wallace, remember what he was famous for? Segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. He did not want black people to be educated in public universities. One of those guys that you root for, or teams that you root for every day, Jerry Jones, was one of them same teenagers that didn't want us, in their schools. A lot of these folks are still alive, that their parents or their grandparents hold the same values that they had back in the early 60s, the early 70s, even all the way up into the 80s and 90s. What the problem is with you young black men right now is you got access to one thing, and it's not about politics. It's about all you brothers that think that the black women don't want shit to do with y'all. So guess what? If I'm nice to Whitey, I got access to their ladies. That's why I put this out earlier.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Because that's what y'all want. Y'all want access to them white women. That's what this is all about. Because for those of you that's running around saying that Vice President Harris is not very educated, you got to be stupid to even believe that. For those of you that's running around saying that Donald Trump gave us that stimulus check, you got to be stupid for that. Now, if you got a problem with the political side of the Harris-Biden administration, that's on you. But that's not the point here. You folks are literally going after the person, not the politics. Trump says she's not very smart, and y'all repeated that until she got up and got his ass at that debate, walked his ass down, walked a mud hole in him and stomped it dry. So he moved on from that. The next argument was, she was, Trump even said it, and then you got you dumbasses repeating, well, she must have had something in her ear. It was impossible for this black woman or this multiracial woman to be smart, huh? That's virtually impossible for some of y'all. I know I might reach one out of the four, but that's all I'm looking for. Just one of y'all guys to take a look at what you're about to vote for. Just one of y'all take a look at this guy right here. That guy is who you're voting for. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about here. Y'all have a great day. Have a good evening. Be safe. I'm trying keeping these pre-records to 1 hour. Check me out Sundays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Classic R&B Jams Radio. Sunday nights we play music from the decades. Tuesday nights throw some smooth independent jazz at you. So with that, folks, again, be safe, and we out here.